Hello, welcome to my new Skillshare course, German Meeting, Greeting and Making Connections. Whether you're just starting to learn German or you want to improve your basic conversational skills, this course will give you everything you need to confidently connect with others in German. Through structured, engaging lessons, you will master essential phrases, greetings, and questions so you can start meeting people and building connections from day one in German. And here's the best part. This is designed for complete beginners. No previous German knowledge required. Let me quickly walk you through what you'll learn. First, you will explore the basics, from German alphabet to essential pronunciation tips. Then, in Module 2, you will learn how to greet people and say farewell so you can make a strong first impression. By Module 3, you will be ready to introduce yourself with confidence and share details about who you are, your interests, and many more. Next, we will cover the art of asking questions. You will learn how to ask someone's name, where they're from, and many more. And in Module 5, we dive deep into small talk and starting conversations in German, the key to turning strangers into new friends. But it doesn't end there. The final module focuses on setting you up for success beyond the course. I will share the resources and strategies to keep building your vocabulary, practice speaking, and set achievable language learning goals. My mission is simple: to help you feel comfortable, connected, and confident in German. With interactive exercises, role-playing activities, and practical tips, this course is packed with everything you need to get started and make real connections in German. You will get to practice conversations and build your confidence step by step. So if you're ready to start speaking German and make new connections, join me in this course. By the end, you will be equipped to introduce yourself, ask questions, and engage in everyday conversations in German. Enroll now and let's get started on your German journey together. Welcome to the first lesson of our German course. So without further ado, let's get into it. So firstly, let's talk about the cultural richness of Germany. Germany has a rich cultural heritage, including contributions to philosophy, music, and literature. And there are lots of educational opportunities. Many universities in Germany offer free or low-cost tuition to international students with so many programs taught in German. So now let's talk about basic facts about the language. Language family. German is a West Germanic language, part of the larger Indo-European language family. And there are lots of different dialects. There are several German dialects, including High German and Low German. There's also Standard German. High German is the standard form of the language used in education and media. And there are also lots of regions in Germany. German is primarily spoken in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Luxembourg, and parts of Italy and Belgium. There are approximately 90 million native speakers and around 25 million people that speak German as a second language. So now let's talk about the alphabet. The German alphabet consists of 26 letters plus 4 additional characters, as you can see on the screen. So now let's talk about phonetics. German pronunciation can be challenging due to distinct sounds and stress patterns. German has a kind of a complex grammar, but don't worry. German has a kind of a complex grammatical structure, including gendered nouns and case endings. For example, nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. There are also compound words. German is very well known for its long compound words, combining multiple words into one. Influence on English. Many English words have German roots, so that it reflects shared history and cultural exchanges. Especially if you know English, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to learn vocabulary in German. Now let's talk about dialects and variations. Bavarian dialect is spoken in Bavaria with distinct vocabulary and pronunciation. And there's also Swabian dialect, and it's found in southwestern Germany, and it's known for its unique expressions. There's also Austrian German, variations spoken in Austria with some distinct vocabulary and pronunciation. We also have Swiss German and multiple dialects spoken in Switzerland, and they're often quite different from standard German. There's also another type of a dialect, and it's Low German dialect spoken mainly in northern parts of Germany. There are also language characteristics that we will be talking about now. Word order. German syntax often differs from English, and the word order is very different from English, particularly in the placement of verbs. You will see a lot of those variations compared to English. And then we have gendered nouns. All German nouns are assigned a gender, masculine, feminine, or neuter. Case system. German uses 4 grammatical cases to indicate the role of nouns in sentences. Articles. Definite and indefinite articles change according to gender and case. This is also something that you have to keep in mind. Adjective endings. Adjectives take on different endings based on gender, number, and case, and which we might actually talk about in this course as well. Now let's talk about language usage. Formal versus informal address. German differentiates between formal Sie and informal Du forms of address. For example, you would be Du in the informal verb in German, but if you want to tell it in a formal way, you could say Sie. Cultural norms. Understanding cultural norms is so crucial when communicating in German as well. Idiomatic expressions. German has so many idioms that may not translate directly into English. Public signage. So there are many signs and public notices in German-speaking countries, and they're only in German, making language skills very essential for comprehension. Now let's talk about a little about regional variations. Vocabulary can vary significantly between different regions, as we talked about, so that it really affects your comprehension, even among German speakers. Now let's talk about learning resources. Language courses. Many online and offline resources are available for learning German, including apps, websites, and local classes. And you can take those after completing all my course here. Media. Consuming German media such as films, music, and books can really improve your language skills as well. Language exchange. Engaging in language exchange programs can literally provide practical speaking opportunities. Language certifications. There are various proficiency tests like the Goethe Institute exams. There's also Test DAF and many more. And they certify German language skills if you want to study in Germany or work there. Cultural events. Participating in German cultural events can really provide immersive experiences. So now let's talk about some facts. German is the 3rd most popular foreign language studied worldwide. 3rd most popular. Can you imagine that? Worldwide history. The historical significance of Germany has influenced language study due to its role in global events. Increased migration has introduced German-speaking communities worldwide, making the language way more accessible. Technically, language. Germany is prevalent in technical fields including engineering and automotive industries. Now let's talk about literary contributions. There are a lot of writers, they're very prominent, like Goethe, Schiller, and Kafka, and they've made so many great significant contributions to world literature. Now, the conclusion. You will have lifelong learning. Learning German can be a lifelong journey so that you can enrich your personal and professional life. Language and identity, for many of you, learning German is a way to connect with their cultural identity, which is so important. Now let's talk about community. Being part of the global German-speaking community really develops your international connections. Future trends. The importance of German is expected to grow, with Germany's continuing economic influence as well. Now, lastly, let's talk about personal growth. Learning a new language really challenges your mind, and it will definitely improve your critical thinking skills and cognitive abilities. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. See you in the next one. Now, in this video, we will be talking about the overview of the alphabet. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's talk about the basic structure. The German alphabet consists of 26 letters, similar to the English alphabet. I'm sure that you know English because you're watching this course. And there are also additional characters. German includes 4 additional characters, E, U, U, and S. And we will talk about those in this video. Letter names, each letter has a name. For example, A is called A, and B is called B. So we will also be talking about that as well in our video. There are also vowels, and there are also other variations as well, and we will definitely talk about them in this video. So consonants, there are 21 consonants in the German alphabet. There are also a lot of pronunciation variations. Some letters may be pronounced differently than in English. For example, V in English is pronounced like F. So W is pronounced like V in German as well. So you have to take a note of these things. Then we have S. The character S represents a double S sound, and it's used in specific German context, mainly in Germany and Austria. There are also other umlauted vowels, so they really represent distinct sounds that are essential for correct pronunciation. And I'm going to teach you how to pronounce them as well. Now let's talk about letter order. The order of the German alphabet is as same as the English alphabet, with some additional of the special characters. Now, phonetic alphabet. Learning the International Phonetic Alphabet, which is called IPA, symbols for German, can really help you with pronunciation. There are very unique aspects of the alphabet, and now I'm going to teach you those. Capitalizations. All nouns in German are capitalized, which is a key difference from English. So make sure that you don't forget this. Loanwords. Some loanwords in German retain original pronunciations that can differ from standard German pronunciation. Contextual usage. The pronunciation of some letters can change based on their position within a word or surrounding letters. So you have to take a note of these things, and I will teach you which letters can change based on their position as well. And there's also syllable structure. German syllables often begin with a consonant cluster so that if it affects how letters are pronounced in combination. There are also slight regional variations, but at the beginning you don't really have to focus on that. Now, I'm going to give you pronunciation tips for beginners. Basic pronunciation guidelines. German vowels have pure sounds. Each vowel typically has one clear pronunciation. Short and long vowels. So they can be short or long. The length of it can change the meaning of words. For example, bitte or bieten. As you can see on the screen, here we have a new kind of a letter that you may not have seen before, and it's similar to the in bad. So you're gonna pronounce it as like that, bad, So now this is the second letter that you might have not seen before, and it's similar to bad in English, bad. And here's the third one, and it's similar to you in the words that is pronounced in blue, U, as you can see. Consonant clarity. Consonants are usually pronounced clearly and distinctively without blending into adjacent sounds. And final consonants in German words are often pronounced more sharply than in English. And now I'm going to give you specific pronunciation tips that will help you to improve your pronunciation in German. So, the letter in English can be pronounced as F in German. For example, in the words that you can see on the screen, we will pronounce it as Vater, Vater. And that's, as you can see, you will pronounce the as F, Vater. Then you have W and you will pronounce it as V, Wasser, Wasser. Wasser means water. So it's a great word that you can notice. Then we have Z in English, and it's gonna be pronounced as Z, Zeit, Zeit, Zeit. Then we have S, and it's gonna be pronounced as Z in German. For example, as you can see the word on the screen, it's gonna be pronounced as Sonne, Sonne. I highly recommend you to repeat what I'm gonna say throughout the video. Sonne. Then we have this sound, and it's gonna be pronounced as he. So there are also difference, and in German we also have them. So they are pronounced as single sounds that glide from one vowel to another. For example, ow, ow. The second one is going to be pronounced as I. And the third one is going to be pronounced as oi, oi. So here we have an ow sound, and it can be rolled and pronounced as a guttural sound depending on the region. So here we have 8 sounds. The letter H is going to be usually silent when it follows a vowel. So zir, zir. There are also double consonants. Double consonants indicate a shorter preceding vowel sound. In this case, SN. Syllable stress. Stress is typically placed on the first syllable of a word, but there are some exceptions. But most of the time, stress is placed in the first syllable of a word. The most important part of all is to enjoy the journey. Embrace the learning journey. Enjoy every single part of the German language while you're learning. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Welcome to our lesson number 3 of our German course. In this video, we will be talking about the overview of common greetings, which is so important in German. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So now, firstly, let's talk about the importance of greetings. Greetings are fundamental in establishing connections and showing politeness in German culture. Hallo. Hallo is a versatile greeting that's used in informal settings, and it's equivalent to hello in English. Hallo. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen means good morning, and it's used in the morning until around noon. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Then we have Guten Abend. It means good evening, and it's typically used after 5 or 6 p.m. Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Formal versus informal. Understanding the context really helps you to choose the appropriate greeting based on the relationship with the person. Now let's talk about each greeting, and we will dive deep. Dive really deep into them. So, usage of hello. It's really used in among friends, family, and peers, and it can be used at any time of the day. Hello can be used at any time. Don't worry about the time when you want to use hello. Response to hello. A simple hello or hi is a typical response. For example, if someone says you hello, you can also say hello or hi. Alternative to hello is hey, and it's also frequently used among younger people. Usage of Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. It's appropriate for morning meetings or interactions, and it's often accompanied by a smile or friendly demeanor. If someone tells you Guten Morgen, you can respond by telling Guten Morgen as well. It's something that many people can expect the same greeting as well in German. Now let's talk about its usage in context. Workplace greetings. Guten Morgen is often used in professional settings to greet colleagues. Informal gatherings, you can use hello, and it's usually used in informal gatherings, such as parties or social events. Now, in public places, you can also use hello, and it's really suitable for interacting with service staff in shops or restaurants. Family interactions. Family members can also use hello or hey, regardless of the time of the day. What about school settings? Guten Morgen is commonly used in schools when greeting teachers and classmates. Additional common greetings, Guten Tag, and it means good day, and it can be used throughout the day in formal contexts. Guten Tag, Gute Nacht, Gute Nacht, and it means good night, and it's used when parting ways at night. Moin. Moin is a regional greeting commonly used in northern Germany, and it's valid at any time of the day. Then we have Tag. It's actually an informal version of Guten Tag, which is used in casual situations. Greetings based on time of day. In morning usage, you can use Guten Morgen, and it's strictly used in the morning, often until noon. You cannot use afternoon or at night. Daytime usage, Guten Tag. Guten Tag is very suitable for daytime usage from noon until late afternoon. Evening usage, Guten Abend, and it's usually used from the late afternoon until nighttime. There's also night usage, which is Gute Nacht, and it's used when saying goodbye before going to bed. Now let's talk about cultural significance. Different greetings reflect the time of day, and it can really show respect in conversations. So, greetings in different contexts. Formal occasions, you can use Guten Tag or Guten Abend when you meet someone for the first time in a formal setting. In social gatherings, you can use hello, and it's perfect for casual social events with friends. Professional meetings, you can always start with Guten Morgen or Guten Tag in business contexts. In public transport, you can use hello, and it's really suitable, especially for public transport. Customer service, you can use Guten Tag or Guten Morgen. Now let's talk about tone and body language. Friendly tone. Always use a friendly and approachable tone when greeting someone. Eye contact, definitely make eye contact during greetings. It really shows confidence and respect. Now let's talk about smile. A smile always enhances the warmth of the greeting. Handshake. In formal settings, a handshake often accompanies greetings, especially in German. Common mistakes to avoid. Overusing informal greetings. Always avoid using hello in formal contexts, such as job interviews, for example. Ignoring context. Not considering the time of day can lead to inappropriate greetings as well. There's also another mistake that a lot of people make, which is assuming familiarity. Always guard the relationship before using overly casual greetings. Practice and reinforcement. Role play. Practice greeting with a partner to gain confidence. Listening exercises. Definitely listen to native speakers using greetings in conversations. Now, real life practice. Use greetings in everyday situations to reinforce learning. Cultural insights. Cultural norms. In cultural norms, greetings in German culture emphasize politeness and respect. Importance of first impression. A proper greeting can really set the tone for the interaction, especially at the first impression. Gradual familiarity. Greetings may become more informal as relationships develop, so that you can use more informal greetings as well. Enjoy the process. Have fun with greetings and cultural exchanges as you learn German. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in the next one. Welcome to lesson number 4 of our course. Without further ado, let's get into it. And our lesson is about the overview of farewell expressions. Now, firstly, let's talk about the importance of farewells. Farewells are really essential while you're closing conversations and maintaining social etiquette in German culture. The most common one is Auf Wiedersehen, and it's a formal way to say goodbye. And it's often used in professional or polite contexts. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. Then there's also an informal and friendly way to say bye, and suitable for casual settings with your friends, for example. Tschüss. Tschüss. Bis bald. And it translates to see you soon. And it's used when expecting to meet again shortly. Bis bald. Now let's talk about formal versus informal understanding the context. And it really helps you to choose the appropriate farewell while based on the relationship with the person. Now let's talk about detailed breakdown of each farewell. Usage of Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen. It's commonly used in formal settings such as business meetings or when addressing elders. And it often considered respectful and polite. Response to Auf Wiedersehen. The expected response is literally the same. Auf Wiedersehen. Now let's talk about the usage of Tschüss. It's perfect for friends, family, and peers. And it can be used at any time of the day. And the response to Tschüss typically is the same, Tschüss, or a casual farewell. Now, let's talk about the usage of bis bald. And it's used when you plan to see the person again soon. And it conveys a sense of warmth and expectation. Now, let's talk about contextual usage. In workplace farewells, Auf Wiedersehen is appropriate when you are leaving a formal business setting. Now, social gatherings. Tschüss is very suitable for informal parties and gatherings with friends. Family interactions. Family members often use Tschüss or bis bald when parting. In public places, Tschüss can be suitable and it can be used when leaving shops or restaurants casually. In school settings, you can also use Tschüss when saying goodbye to classmates. Now let's talk about additional farewell expressions. Gute Nacht. Gute Nacht means good night, and it's often used when saying goodbye at night. Bis später. Bis später. And it translates to see you later, and it really indicates a brief separation. Bis später. And there's also another informal way to say take care, and it's often used among friends. Mach's gut. Mach's gut. There's also a more poetic way to say farewell, often implying a long-term goodbye, and it is leb wohl. Leb wohl. There's also another way of saying goodbye, and it means until next time, and it really suggests future meetings. Now, let's talk about farewells based on time of the day. Daytime usage, Auf Wiedersehen or Tschüss can be used depending on the relationship throughout the day. In nighttime usage, you can use Gute Nacht, and it's specifically used at night when partying. Casual daytime farewell, Tschüss is commonly used among friends during daytime activities. In future engagements, bis bald really suggests that you look forward to the next encounter. Now let's talk about regional variations. In northern Germany, you can say Schuss, and it's really widely used so that it reflects the informal nature of the region. Now, let's talk about contextual nuances. In formal occasions, you can use Auf Wiedersehen when addressing someone of higher status or informal events. In social gatherings, you can definitely use Tschüss, and it's perfect for saying goodbye to friends after a casual meetup. In professional settings, ending a business meeting with Auf Wiedersehen really conveys respect and professionalism. In public transport, Tschüss is often used informally among passengers that are leaving a bus or train. In customer service, you can also use Auf Wiedersehen, and you can use it when you're leaving a store or service establishment. And now, let's talk about tone and body language. Friendlier zone, you can use a warm tone when saying Tschüss to convey friendliness. Now, eye contact. Making eye contact really shows sincerity during farewells. A smile can always enhance the positive feeling of a farewell. Also in formal settings, a handshake accompanies Auf Wiedersehen, while hugs are common among friends. Always, as I say, enjoy the process of learning German. Embrace mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're just part of the learning process. Thank you so much for watching the video. It really means a lot to me. See you in the next one. Welcome to lesson number 5 of our course. And in this video, we will be talking about basic self-introduction. So now, purpose of self-introduction. It really helps you to build connections and make a good first impression. Now let's talk about key phrases for introducing oneself. Ich heiße. Ich heiße means I am called or my name is, and it's the most common way to introduce yourself. Ich heiße. Example usage: Ich heiße Anna or Ich heiße Azamat. My Name is also a more informal way to say my name is. For example, my Name is Azamat. Example usage: My Name is Hans Müller. Ich bin. Ich bin is a simpler and casual way to say I am. Ich bin Azamat. Ich bin Julia, for example. Now, stating your age. You can use Ich bin X Jahr alt. And it translates to I am X years old. For example, Ich bin 25 Jahre alt. Avoiding age. In informal settings, you can always skip stating your age if it's not really relevant. Mentioning your nationality. Ich komme aus X. It means I come from. When stating your country of origin, for example, Ich komme aus Uzbekistan. I come from Uzbekistan. Example usage: Ich komme aus Deutschland. Talking about your job or role. Ich arbeite als. Ich arbeite als. And it's used to state your occupation, and it translates to I work as. Example usage: Ich arbeite als Lehrer. I work as a teacher. Ich bin. Ich bin is also used for professions as well. Ich bin Arzt. I'm a doctor. Talking about family. Ich habe. Ich habe means I have. And you can use this phrase to talk about your family members. For example, ich habe eine Schwester. Ich habe eine Schwester. I have a sister. Eine means one or a. Talking about your residence. Ich wohne in. Ich wohne in. And it means I live in. And it's usually used for the city or country. Ich wohne in Kashi. Ich wohne in Berlin. Temporary living. Ich wohne momentan in X. I currently live in. Ich wohne momentan in. Momentan means currently. Structuring a self-introduction. Always begin with a name. Start with Ich heiße X or my Name ist. Then mention origin. Follow with Ich komme aus or Ich bin aus. Add your occupation. Ich arbeite als or Ich bin, so that you can state your profession. You can also repeat them, practice regularly so that you can become confident with your self-introductions. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one. Welcome to lesson number 6 of our course, and in this video we will be talking about introduction to sharing your personal information or details. So the purpose of sharing information really is important because it builds rappers and enables more in-depth conversations in German. Talking about age. You can also use a phrase for telling your age. Ich bin X Jahre alt. I am X years old. For example, ich bin 13 Jahre alt. Avoiding age. In informal settings, you can skip mentioning age if it's not really necessary. Asking about age. Wie alt bist du? Wie alt bist du means how old are you? And it's usually informal, and it's typically used with younger people. Politeness consideration. Avoid asking age directly in formal settings unless it's relevant. Discussing nationality. Phrase for nationality is Ich komme aus, I come from. Example usage, Ich komme aus Italien. You can also talk about your dual nationality. Ich bin halb X and halb X or Y for dual nationalities. Talking about occupation. There's a general phrase which is Ich arbeite als, I work as. Example usage, Ich arbeite als Arzt, I work as a doctor, female one. Simple identification, Ich bin, and that means I am. And you can also and follow it by the job title. For students, you can say Ich bin Student, I am a student. There are also some common phrases for sharing information. For example, you can also combine details. Ich bin 35 Jahre alt, komme aus Spain und arbeite als Ingenieur. Formal versus informal. You can also adjust the phrases depending on your audience. Context clues. Pay attention to context to decide what information to share. Practice exercises for speaking. You can also role play. You can practice with a partner or switch some roles to get comfortable. There's also a great way, which is a mirror practice. You can stand in front of a mirror to observe your expressions and pronunciation. You can also record yourself and listen back for self-assessment. Daily practice is really important. Incorporate self-introductions into your daily language practice to build fluency. Welcome to lesson number 7 of our course, which is about introduction to German question words. Now let's talk about the purpose of question words. It's really essential for gathering information and making conversation. Direct versus indirect questions. Understanding both can really help you with conversational depth, and we will talk about that in this video. Now let's talk about some basic question words in German. Wer means who. Wer, who. Was means what. Was, was. Wo means where. Wann means when. Warum means why. Now let's talk about using wer. Wer. Now let's talk about using wer. Wer. Definition. Wer is often used to ask about people. Now an example of that. Wer bist du? Wer bist du? Are you? Who are you? Wer bist du? Subject focus. Wer generally focus on the subject of the sentence. Verb conjugation. Verb should agree with wer as the subject. Questions about identity. It's really commonly used in identity and role-related questions. Asking about your occupation. Wer ist der Lehrer? who is the teacher? Using was, which means what. Definition. Was is used to inquire about objects, actions, or ideas. An example of that, was machst du? What are you doing? General information. It's really useful for open-ended questions. Using objects, was ist das? What is that? Was ist das? Was ist das? Using wo, which means where. Definition, wo is used to ask about location. An example of that, wo wohnst du? Where do you live? Location and direction. It really only asks for location, not direction though. Distinguishing from wohin, there's also a difference between wohin and wo as well. So you use wohin for asking where to. For example, where are you going to, for example. And in that case, you're going to use wohin. Using wann, which means when. Definition. Wann is used to inquire about time. Asking about schedule. It's really useful for planning and scheduling. General versus specific. It can be used for both specific and general time inquiries. Future and past works for both past and future tense questions. Common phrase, wann sehen wir uns? When we will see each other. Wann sehen wir uns? Using warum, which is why. Warum. Warum. Definition. Warum is used to ask for reasons or causes. Example of that, warum lernst du Deutsch? Why are you learning German? Open-ended questions. It really invites more detailed answers. Reasons and explanations, it usually is often followed by explanations as well. Politeness consideration, warum can sometimes feel more direct. It really softens with polite phrasing. Questioning decisions. Warum hast du das gemacht? Why did you do that? Forming some simple questions with question words. Verb placement in questions. In German, the verb usually follows the question word. Typical structure of the question is question word plus verb plus subject. For example, was machst du? Was machst du? Subject-verb inversion. It's really common in German question formation, which is subject-verb inversion. Yes, no questions versus information questions, distinguishing based on answer type needed. So let's talk about them. Formal versus informal questions as well. Consider using Sie for formal and du for informal. It means you. The tone of voice. Tone often changes slightly when asking questions. Adding bitte. Bitte means please, and it really emphasizes politeness. It really softens direct questions. Wo ist die Toilette, bitte? Practice examples for each question word. Wer. Examples. Practice with wer ist da? Who is there? And wer kommt sie? Wer kommt mit? Consistency is also really important. Regularly incorporate these question words into conversations so that you can improve your fluency. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. See you in the next one. And in this video, we will be talking about initiating conversations. Firstly, let's talk about the importance of it. The very important thing is breaking the ice. Knowing how to start conversations is really essential for social interactions. You can also build some confidence. The classical opener is Hallo, which means hello, and it's a simple way to greet someone. Asking about well-being. Wie geht's, which means how are you, which is informal. There's also a formal way of saying it, which is Wie geht es Ihnen, how are you? Introducing yourself, ich heiße, and you're gonna say your name. And that means my name is, so that you can set a friendlier tone. You can also ask a follow-up question. Und du, which means and you, And it's informal, and you can use a formal way of saying it, which is und Sie. You can also ask for their name. Wie heißt du, which means what is your name? It's informal, but there's also a formal way of saying it, which is Wie heißen Sie? See you in the next one. In this video, we will be talking about small talk in German. So without further ado, let's get into it. Firstly, we will be talking about the importance of it. It's really important for building connections. Small talk really helps establish rappers and connect with others. And it's also really important for cultural significance. Germans appreciate meaningful conversations, but small talk can serve as a polite social entry. Confidence booster. Practicing small talk really improves your conversational fluency and comfort in various situations. Now, let's talk about some common topics for small talk in German. The weather. Talking about the weather is a universal small talk topic and a safe way to start. You can also start your small talk with interests and hobbies. You can discuss hobbies, opens up personal and engaging conversation. You can also talk about family and friends. You can mention family. Mentioning family can really help establish familiarity. You can also talk about work or studies. Talking about one's job or field of study is really common in German small talk. You can also talk about travel and vacations. You can ask about travel experiences, which is a popular topic. You can also talk about current events. Casual discussions about recent news or events really show awareness. You can also talk about favorite foods or drinks. You can ask about favorite foods or beverages, and they often lead to friendlier exchanges. You can also talk about sports. Talking about those popular sports like soccer is a great way to bond. Movies, TV shows, or books and entertainment preferences also offer relatable conversation starters. You can also talk about local attractions. Discussing popular sports or activities in the area that you are can be relevant, and it can be a lot more engaging than other topics. Future plans. You can ask about upcoming plans, and it really provides insights into someone's interests. Vocabulary and phrases for everyday conversation. Weather expressions. Schönes Wetter, oder? Nice weather, isn't it? Work and study inquiry. You can ask, Was arbeitest du? What do you do for work? You can also ask about travel enthusiasm. Warst du schon einmal in? Have you ever been in? To. Bist du Fußballfan? Are you a soccer fan? Now I'm going to give you tips for engaging small talk. Always be an active listener. Show interest by nodding or giving brief responses like, so. Use follow-up questions. Keep the conversation flowing by asking some follow-up questions. You can also match their tone, adjust your formality, and so on based on the other person's style. You can always compliment and relate. Compliment their answers and relate to what they say so that you can build rapport. I highly recommend you to stay positive. Use positive and upbeat language so that you can make small talk pleasant and inviting. Thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. See you in the next one. And in this lesson, we will be talking about German vocabulary. So without further ado, let's get into it. So my recommendation for you to improve your vocabulary in German is set daily goals. Aim to learn a specific number of new words each day, maybe between 5 and 10. You can also use flashcards for learning vocabulary. Traditional or digital flashcards can really help you reinforce vocabulary through repetition. You can also learn through context, which is contextual learning. Learn words in the context of sentences so that you can understand usage. You can also focus on high-frequency words. Start with the most commonly used words to boost your comprehension quickly. You can also practice with mnemonics so that you can create memorable associations for tricky words. You can also learn word families. Study related words. Study those related words, for example, verbs, nouns, and adjectives, so that you can expand vocabulary clusters. You can also use vocabulary in sentences. You can practice new words by writing or speaking sentences that include them. You can also review them regularly, which is really important, especially if you're learning vocabulary. You can revisit old words frequently so that you can strengthen retention. You can also practice with a partner. You can engage in conversations to practice new vocabulary in real time. You can also label everyday items. You can use sticky notes so that you can label items around your home with their German names. This is a great practice that you can do. You can also create a vocabulary journal. You can keep a notebook of new words, meanings with them, and example sentences next to them. You can also engage with native media. Listen to German music, podcasts, or YouTube videos, or you can also watch movies with subtitles. You can also learn synonyms and antonyms. Expanding word knowledge really includes understanding synonyms and opposites. You can also track your progress. Use a checklist or app to mark vocabulary you've mastered. What gets measured gets managed. Practice with spaced repetition. Use tools like Anki so that you can space out reviews of vocabulary effectively. You can also use German-English dictionaries. Look up words you encounter and note them down for later review. You can also practice pronunciation regularly. You can listen to and repeat words to improve your pronunciation alongside vocabulary. You can also engage with the German news. Reading the news in German really helps you learn current vocabulary and phrases. It may be difficult at first, but then over time you will improve. You can also use online forums or language communities. Platforms like Reddit or language forums really help you practice and share learning tips. You can also practice describing your day. Mentally go through your daily routine in German. Name each object and action that you took. Now, I'm going to recommend you some resources for further study. Language learning apps Duolingo, Babbel, and Memrise really offer greater German courses focused on vocabulary building. You can use some German dictionaries. Online dictionaries like Leo, Pons, and Lingui really provide great translations, usage examples, and pronunciation guides. Anki. Anki is a great app that you can use. I personally use it when I was learning German, and this spaced repetition app is great for custom flashcard decks and long-term vocabulary retention. Close Master is a vocabulary-focused app that uses closed tests to reinforce vocabulary in context. German Pod 101, it's a podcast-based program that includes vocabulary lessons at all levels, and you can use that as well. Goethe Institute Resources, their website offers language resources, exercises, and cultural materials, and they're also a great resource that you can use. Tandem or Hello Talk, language exchange apps where you can actually practice vocabulary with native speakers. There are also some books that you can read. Use graded readers or dual language books so that you can practice vocabulary within context. You can also watch some YouTube channels like Learn German with Anja and Easy German really provide vocabulary lessons and real-world interactions that you can learn from. You can also read some children's books. Start with Simple German's children's book for accessible vocabulary practice. You can also use flashcard apps like Quizlet and Brainscape. They really offer shared flashcard sets and vocabulary games. You can also browse some German news sites, websites like DW News and Tagesschau offer vocabulary for current events and news. You can also go to German learner forums. Websites like German Language Scout Exchange provide answers to vocabulary and grammar questions. Grammarly in German. Use tools like Grammarly so that you can check vocabulary usage in writing. You can also have some language workbooks. German Made Simple and some other workbooks really offer vocabulary exercises with answer keys that are really high quality. You can also watch some German TV shows or movies. Netflix and other platforms offer German content with subtitles like Dark or Babylon Berlin. Radio and podcasts. You can also listen to German radio channels and podcasts like Deutschlandfunk, which provides daily vocabulary exposure. You can also have some language exchange meetups, join online or local meetups, focused on practicing German with other learners. Now you can also practice German with German vocabulary apps. There are a lot of specialized apps like Vocabulary Trainer or Voc app that are focused entirely on vocabulary learning. You can also browse some interactive grammar and vocabulary sites. Websites like Deutsche Academia and Lingualia offer vocabulary quizzes and exercises. You can also expand vocabulary through immersive practice. For example, you can practice role-playing scenarios, use specific vocabulary in mock conversations, for example, ordering at a cafe. You can also set aside daily reading time. You can try to read at least one paragraph or two of German text daily. You can also engage with German social media. You can follow German accounts on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter so that you can encounter vocabulary naturally. You can also join some German-speaking clubs, online or in person. These clubs usually provide vocabulary-rich environments. You can also use German subtitles when watching TV. You can turn on German subtitles for extra vocabulary practice. You can also make vocabulary lists for different situations. Lists for travel, shopping, dining, and etc. And it can really help you focus on relevant vocabulary. You can also practice vocabulary with songs, learn lyrics of German songs so that you can expand your vocabulary even through music. You can also create some personalized flashcards. You can make flashcards that include example sentences that are relevant to your interests or daily life. You can also practice writing short German essays. You can try to summarize your day, or you can also write about your familiar topic in German, which really helps you to improve your writing skills as well. So thank you so much for watching